not new. This is something I do all the time with my story kits and quarterly scrapbook kits, but I've never done it with the stories by the month kits before. So I've gotten the stories by the month kit since the very beginning, and they really switched them up this year in 2024, and there's just so much more stuff in the kits now. So I use these kits primarily in my project life to document my everyday life in a weekly spread. And because I get so many different products and like to work with different products, I tend to focus one spread per month on these kits. But the reality is there's enough in these kits that I could do probably at least 2 or 3 spreads per kit, if not the entire month. But that is just not what I want to do in my project life. It's totally doable if that's something that you want to do. If you want products to go further, I highly recommend these for that purpose. However, there's so many things and I'm not using them all in project life. So what I decided to do is I just kind of pulled everything out here. These are the leftovers from the first quarter of 2024. So that's January, February, and March stories by the month, plus pieces I had left over from the 2023 kits. Now, some of those kits I used enough that I had worked them into my stash, but for quarter one, I just had pieces from February left. So I have those right here and I'm going to work that into here. So then I also have the first quarter's paper pack here, which I'm going to try to come up with some plans for some of these as well. So I have some papers. So I'm actually just going to kind of sort this kit with all of these. Now I know these don't all coordinate because they are multiple kits, but I'm just going to sort things. So I've got some transparencies, I've got vellum, and then I've got some papers here. Just going to move this out of the way for now. And then let's see, from last year, they came with papers in the kits. And I actually don't even know if this one's from February, but I have those too. And that one actually might have been from March. And then let's see here, what else do we have? And then I have this vellum paper as well. So that's it on my papers. And I'm just going to kind of push those up off the screen a little bit. And then let's see, I have this sticker sheet. So I'm going to put that. And then I have a lot of cards. So I've got vellum cards and I've got 3x4 non-vellum cards. So I'm just kind of sorting some things out. Some of these are clearly specific months. And there are these cards. I think I have a plan for these, so I'm going to put those to the side. And let's see, here's some 4x6 cards in vellum. 4x6 vellum, 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 vellum. And then let's see here. I've got some vellum circles. I think these are from this. So I'm going to do the embellishments after I do the cards. So those are from that. Here's the stamps. I'm not really going to plan anything with the stamps, but I'm going to have them here in case they fit in with some of my other ideas. So let's see, sorting cards here. And vellum, vellum. Then let's see, I have a sticker sheet. And let's see what else I have. More cards up here. Here's this February one. It's vellum. Here's die cuts. So I'm putting die cuts right here. And then, oh, there's more up here. Here's another vellum. And more die cuts. And it's just, I have so many products here. It's just much easier to kind of separate them out by type so I can kind of just see what I'm working with. And then I have chipboard. I'm going to punch the chipboard pieces out and get rid of these backers and any like packaging I can get rid of. I've got this sticker sheet. Here's more die cuts. Here's some die cuts, but these are specific January stories, so that's probably going to be one project. And then let's see, here's these. More die cuts, vellum. So I think I'm going to use this tray for all the die cuts. But let's pull. So these are scraps of cards that I had already cut off of. So I'm going to just kind of put those to the side. I'm okay tossing those if they end up not fitting into any of my projects. Okay, so I'm gonna put all the die cuts on this tray. I'm gonna move that up here, and then in here, I'm gonna put the chipboard pieces, but I do have some die cuts in here as well. So I'm just mixing these all, or moving all of the die cuts over there. So let's see. I've got die cuts, I've got chipboard in here. Got some stickers. I've got these stickers, and alphas. And then I have these like vellum circles. I believe these were from last year's February. Last year, the Stories by the Month had a different variety of products than they have this year. So that is kind of mixing it up a little. Okay, so that is everything that I have here. What I'm going to go ahead and do is sketch some things out in my planner here, stories and projects, ideas, and then I'm gonna put the products in Ziploc bags so that I have them ready to go when I want to put those stories together. And I'm gonna do these primarily in my Mini-Me album. This is my 2024 Mini-Me album. I have some projects already done in here. I have a lot of space, and this is all from the first quarter. So this album is going to be the first half of the year. So I want to fit a few more stories in here using this kit. I also will likely do some larger stories in either my 9x12 album or my daughter's album. Sometimes I would plan inserts for Project Life, but I already kind of have the first quarter of Project Life done with plenty of inserts, so I'm not going to work on that. I'm also going to go through these products, and the ones that I don't plan for, I'm going to decide, do I want it in my stash or do I want to get rid of it? And I have like a donate to do, like a giveaway at some point. So I know initially I'm going to get rid of this because this doesn't speak to me. I don't like the colors from it. So I'm just going to put that in my donate pile. And then this I absolutely love. And I had wanted to do it as like a cover page, but I came up with this cover page. So I was thinking maybe I could put it just as like an insert in here. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So rather than planning it because it's so basic, I'm just gonna go ahead and punch some holes in this and stick it in my album. And I'm just putting it right here. I have another page that is probably going to go right here. And I think this would just kind of break it up a little bit and just, just add a little something to my album. This is just kind of the beginning of the year here. And I've shared these pages. So if you're curious about pages, pretty much everything in here I've shared on Instagram or plan to share on Instagram. And when this album is done, I will share a flip through of the completed album. But I'm just looking at that there. I think I like that. I kind of want to trim it off there though and have it be narrow. I don't love that they like skipped months. I wish there were like full months of each of these as transparencies because it's so cute. But when I'm considering cutting it off here and just tossing these ones to have it be a smaller insert, but that might be something I do down the road when I am putting or finalizing this album. So that got rid of a few of those. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start going through these. I will put you on fast forward as I sketch out projects and we'll put some music on, and then I will talk you through the projects. In the same fashion, if you are a Story Kit subscriber, this is similar to what I do in the classroom every month using the Story Kits. Okay, so the first project I want to tell is about a weekend trip that we took to Toronto. And I use this as my jumping off point. So I'm going to punch holes in here and tell 6 little mini stories about the weekend. And I kind of feel like I want to put these in here too, because it says like taking a short trip and stuff, and I could use these on this page. The second page here is going to be a full page photo. I'm going to put the word Toronto on there, probably using alpha stamps or something. And then I cut the speech bubble pieces off of these because I don't love all speech bubbles. And then I'm going to use these to decorate this. I will probably put like the dates we traveled here, and these will be specific stories. And then I was thinking about it and thought, I have way more photos than just one from this trip. So I'm going to create an insert in between the 2 pages, which are the 2x2 pockets. And I'm going to cut it off so it's smaller, so it's only the 2 rows. And I'm going to put this in one of them, this in another, and I also have this chipboard piece, and then I will add photos into those. So this gives me just some flexibility of what I want to include in which pocket and plenty of supplies to play with. And I'm going to go ahead and put these in there too. So I'm going to slip this in a pocket or in a Ziploc and move on to the next one.
Okay, I'm going to pop in here with a little bit of voiceover because I wanted to share that while I was working on planning out this next story, I am going through some of the cards and putting some to the side that are going to go into my donate pile because they are things that I don't think I will ever use. I'm also looking to my list of stories that I've already planned for this year for my mini me album just to see what stories are missing and which ones I already have a plan for, so I'm not duplicating stories and I'm filling in the gaps in the stories that I want to tell.
Okay, so the next one, I really just wanted to do something super simple. And I was looking through my photos off camera here on my computer just to try to like prompt what stories I wanted to tell. And one of the ones that I wanted to tell was the story of just like snowy winter. So these 3 together I thought were super cute. I thought this could be a super simple thing to just kind of layer them like this on top of a snowy photo and just put just a few little words about the snowy season. And it would be a very simple page, but that's all I need for it. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick these in a Ziploc and move on. Okay, so this next one will be a simple pocket page, just documenting some January stories. So there's these 3 tags. I'm going to put them into 3 pockets in one of the 3x4 pocket page protectors and include one photo, probably a photo of me from January, and add these 2 labels on it. Now these are bigger than 3x4, so I'm going to crop that so that one will fit like that, and then this I will cut down to make another little embellishment, and that will be a story from January. Okay, so for the next one, I'm going to tell the the story of my recent trip to Lake Placid. So I do want to point out that these are, I said it's quarter one stories because I'm using the quarter one kits. These are not all quarter one stories, and they're just stories that I wanted to tell with these kits. And because it is now June when I'm planning this, I am just kind of planning whatever stories pop to my mind. So some of these products do say like January, February, March. So I am going to go back and tell some of those older stories, but other ones, they don't. And I wanted to tell a story prompted by this paper that says, "Good times, here's the story." Thinking I can tell a few little details from the weekend. I took a weekend and went up to Lake Placid recently. And so what I'm going to do is a full page photo, and I'm going to cut out this here and now and add this chipboard on there. And then I'm going to use this, which looks like waves, as a base for the title Lake Placid in an insert with 3x4 pockets. And I'm not sure if I want to leave that transparent or put another photo on the back. And then I have these two pieces to embellish those additional pockets. So I'm going to put all of these ones together in a Ziploc and move on to the next one. Okay, so this next one, I wanted to do just some more reflective journaling. I'm going to do some type journaling just about how I've been feeling lately. And I wanted to pair it with a photo of me. And I'm going to maybe cut this out and like stitch it on there. I'm not entirely sure, but I like leaving some flexibility with the products when I'm working on it to let myself be creative. I like to plan out the projects in advance because it helps me actually get these done, but I don't want it to be so formulaic when I'm putting it together. So I'm leaving a little bit of flexibility. And then these two pieces, I love the way they look layered like this, and the colors work perfectly with this. So I'm thinking I'm gonna layer this on there, and I'll probably put maybe the date or something in there. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to go ahead and include that. I also was thinking about including this one because it's also a circle, but I think that would be too hard to cut out, and it's adding more colors that aren't here already. So I'm gonna just go ahead and leave it with these and move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one I decided to do is a recap of the month of March in my 9x12 stories album using the 3x3 pockets. And this is a great way to use up some of the cards and do like a monthly recap, which I do share monthly on Instagram. So I already have those photos collected. I just haven't put them in my album. And I thought that this card would be a perfect jumping off point for that because I can easily cut this down into a 3x3 square and stick it into one of the pockets. Then I have my photos. I'm gonna also crop this down into a 3x3 square for one of the other pockets. And I might include like, I might actually put it sideways so the words are right. And I might put this like on top of it, or I might put this on top of one of my photos. I also have this one that says March stuff. I'm not sure I will use all of these, but I like all the colors together and they work well. And then some of these stickers will work really well too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick this with this, and whatever I don't use from the sticker sheet will end up in my stash. Okay, so for this next one, I decided I'm gonna do the same thing, but for February. And to do that, I'm gonna crop this vellum piece down to a 3x3 and write February stories on top of here, probably with stamps or stickers, unsure. Honestly, these ones might look good, but I don't think I'm gonna use those to plan a story. I think I'm just gonna put those in my stash. And then I'm going to take these pieces. Some of them say February, some of them don't, but they all kind of go together. And I'm gonna put them on top of photos. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 photos for my recap. So I will put these on some of those, and then I will probably have one that doesn't have a photo. Try and decide if there's like a pattern to put in the background of that one. Now I think I'm just gonna leave it with nothing else to put in there. I'm just gonna put all of these and stick these in as a block and call that good. Okay, so the next one, once I started doing this, I really want to try to use up some of these 3x3 pocket pages because I don't use them very often. So I decided I'm going to do another recap, and this is going to be of my week in the life. And this one was prompted primarily by this card or vellum piece, because I'm going to cut out each of the days of the week and stitch it on top of a photo from that day. I might even print the photos. Actually, I'm thinking I'm going to print them like smaller like this and put it on like a white background just to give more white space. And so the vellum is on top of white as opposed to on top of a photo so that it pops out a little bit more. Then I'm going to use this one for my title, and I'm going to write Week in the Life on there. And then I'm going to cut this down into 3x3s, I think, to do 2 of the pockets. And then I also have these different embellishments that all kind of coordinate to fill some of the other pockets in or embellish some of my photos. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of these together and move on to the next one. for the next one, I decided to plan a Project Life spread. And I don't have a specific week in mind, but I always have extra weeks every month that I don't have a kit for. And sometimes I just do like stash busting, but other times I like to create my own kit or work with other random kits. So I decided I'm going to do another one because I really love the idea of cutting these out to be 6 stories. And this doesn't have to be in February. And I specifically picked no products that say a month in them, just ones that kind of go together. It can be a pink spread any time of the year. February does not have to be the only month that is pink. And I also really like this bold black. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this down to a 4x6 and add this on here for my dates and my title card. And then I'm going to use this one to add some journaling on for just a bullet point of random journaling for the week. I'm gonna cut these out and put them on photos and other cards, other spots to add my specific stories from the week. I thought I could cut out a 3x4 of this to put back here. And then I have these 2 pieces, die cut pieces that I thought also coordinated really well. So I ended up not really picking any of the cards because a lot of them just didn't go or have specific months. So I'm totally happy with this being my jumping off point. And at the point when I'm putting this together, I might end up pulling some additional things from my stash as well. Okay, so for this one here, I'm going to do a recap of June using this as a jumping off point for 7 stories that I want to tell from the month of June. The other side is going to be the 2x2 pockets. This is in my mini album. And I'm going to use this as a base to write June 2024. In one of them, I'm going to have 7 photos that pair with each of these stories. I have this yep and nope to embellish. I have these, I'm going to cut them out, and they are, you know, they're taller than 2x2, but they're not wider. So I feel like I can get some good shapes out of them to go into these extra pockets. And then I also have the matching chipboard for one of the last pockets. I think that these will all be a cute design together to do that monthly recap. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick these in a Ziploc. Okay, so I planned 10 stories, and I do still have a decent amount of stuff here, not too much. These I also am planning on using as kind of like a recap at the end of my Project Life album. The first half will be the first 3 months, and then the second half will be the last 3 months, and I'll add something else in with those. So I'm gonna put those aside for that. But the rest of these products, I think I'm done planning stories. I feel like 10 is good. This is manageable. I'm gonna actually be able to create these. I could go ahead and plan something for every single piece here, but I'd end up with, you know, like, I don't know, like 25 layouts. And that's not realistic because these are not the only products that I'm working with. And some of these products are just good to have in my stash. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and finish this up here. I put all of the planned projects in this tray. This is Stories by the Month story pages. So I have these available when I'm ready to work on these. And the rest of these products, I'm gonna go ahead and just move them into my stash so I don't have to worry about them as specific kits, but instead I have them to pull from when I'm putting together other projects. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that this video gave you some ideas for what you can do with your story by the month kits from Ali Edwards. And I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Thank you. Bye.